spooky piece of Philippine cinema is wowing audiences overseas. Circle of Bones is a recipient of many honors, including Best Indie Feature in the 2020 Vegas Movie Awards. And just in, for the Hollywood season, the horror action movie is showing in theaters in 10 major U.S. cities. We're joined now by the director, Vincent Soberano, live from Taipei. Direct Vince, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations on the success of Circle of Bones.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on your show. It's an honor. It's a great pleasure to be in your show.
How challenging was it, Direct Vince, an independent horror action film, to get a U.S. theatrical release in 10 major cities?
Yes, I mean, I'm really honored and I'm really stoked about this release. But yes, it's been quite a grind. This movie has been really, we've been through a lot. I've been through a lot to get this movie out, to get it completed, and then from rejections to all sorts of stuff. And then finally, pandemic hit, and we were almost not released. But what was great is we got picked up by a top tier distributor in Hollywood, Vertical Entertainment, and they have a very strategic system of releasing this. And it's a new, not so new, but more refined business model to tackle on the industry problems with the pandemic, especially with the closure of movie theaters. It's a system they call day and date release, where they will release.
Direct Vince, you have the same backstory as the creator and director of the Squid Game. It also took him years to get his concept, his idea, and his series for a global audience. So tell us, this movie is uniquely Filipino and features sights and stories never before seen by a U.S. audience. How are they accepting it in the 10 major cities where it's currently being viewed?
Well, one of the things I wanted to make sure is that we made a movie that was distinctly Filipino, but is acceptable and is relatable to especially the American audience, because that's really the biggest market in the world right now. And that was my initial target from the get-go. I wrote the script and I paid attention. Basically, I studied the market in the US. I went to school in the States. I went to film school in the US. So I'm quite familiar with the taste of the American audience. And I formulated a movie that they can relate to, but at the same time is uniquely Filipino. Filipino locations and all that stuff. Filipino actors, of course, with a Hollywood actress kind of leading the cast, but it's also full of Filipino actors and Filipino stars.
And Direct Vince, Circle of Bones is based on your unpublished book entitled Yawa. What was the inspiration behind this book?
That book is sort of based on some mythologies and urban legends from where I grew up where I was born and grew up in the Philippines, in Bacolod. And Yawa is kind of like demon, and there was a lot of stories of demon possessions as I was growing up, and it was really quite eerie, and it was very intriguing, and I kind of latched onto that idea. I also found out there are some foreign cults living in Bohol and some other islands in the Philippines. I kind of put two and two together, and I thought, hey, this is a great little story right here. It's it's quite relatable to the foreign audience.
Well, a lot of curiosity, Direct Vince, with the tale of local superstitions and modern-day urban legends from the Visayas region. But everybody wants to know now, Direct Vince, after Circle of Bones, what is the next film project of Direct Vincent Soberano?
I'm working on, of course, since I'm also directing and writing the script. I'm working on a story. It's a sort of a back alley boxing story about a Filipino migrant worker in Taiwan. So it's kind of like a Filipino sort of Cinderella man, Filipino Rocky sort of movie.
So is that why you are in Taipei now? You are filming your next film project?
Yes.
Mhm. So when can we expect the release? And what is the title of this new project, Direct Vince?
It's titled Bare Knuckles.
Bare Knuckles.
And Bare Knuckles, and we're targeting like mid to late next year for release.
Mhm. And you also plan to have a US theatrical release, just like what you have now with Circle of Bones?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm working with my agent in the US, my executive producer who's in the US, and we're working with Vertical Entertainment as well. So it's going to be a slew of movies I'm going to be creating for the foreign market. It's going to be mainly released. In fact, Circle of Bones has hit 100 million households in the US right now. 100 million households. That's pretty amazing.
And of course, after its theatrical release, it will be on video on demand. Congratulations, Direct Vince, on the success of Circle of Bones. And we're looking forward to your next project, Bare Knuckles, with director Vincent Soberano. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.